Well, Mariee Siou is joining me all the way from beautiful, sunny Sonoma. And I was just mentioning to her that the sun has not yet shown its beautiful face here in San Francisco in the Bay Area. So we'll see how that goes. So it seems like you've been doing a little tour here on the West Coast. How's that been going?
I have, yeah, it's been going really great. It's been so sweet to get out and play this music in the flesh in real time for people. Being able to gather together is something I really hope to not take for granted ever again after pandemic times. Yeah, went down all the way down to LA and Carpinteria, played on a beautiful farm. Sometimes I try and book shows, sometimes at off the beaten path venues and kind of try and set up nice places to gather for people and share this music
Yeah.
together.
Oh, that's fantastic. So it sounds like, is this the first tour you've done since the pandemic started, I
Um,
guess?
mm, Not quite. I went to Europe in February and I also did a few Southwest shows last fall.
Mhm.
Yeah, just
Oh,
kind of be back into it.
what's the biggest difference between audiences in Europe compared to the US?
Hmm. I would say, I mean, though, when I play shows here, I tend to have really respectful crowds that usually really want to be there listening to the music that's a little bit on the softer, quieter side. But yeah, in Europe, they're just very, very attentive,
Mhm.
deep listening, and also they have a lot more funding, government funding for the arts. So like you can play really small shows, but that have like really nice sound systems and lights and like the whole show production is there, even if there's like 75 capacity or something. So they just take care of you really well, feed you very well. And yeah.
That's good to know. Actually, I haven't heard that yet, so that's always always learning something new.
Yeah.
So you're going to be playing in Berkeley this evening at Ashkenaz. Have you played there before?
Um, I was trying to think about that. I don't think so actually. I think it only my first time. I think I've been in there before, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of a
there's
classic spot, Berkeley spot.
mhm. Yeah, there's some really nice venues over there in the East Bay. I try to get over there, as you can imagine. Before the pandemic, it was a little bit easier to make the effort in that sense. But yeah, do you play in the Bay Area often?
Um, I probably like once or twice a year, but I did just move to Port. I used to live in Nevada City, which is just a few hours north, but I just moved to Portland, Oregon, so it
Mhm.
might not be as frequent anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, I've played there on and off really since my career started, so probably for the past 18 years.
So tell us a little bit more about your new release and how your songwriting has potentially shifted the last couple of years.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, this new release, it's called Circle of Signs. It's a 4 song EP that's like almost 30 minutes long. So the songs are like pretty long and dense and have a lot of lyrics in them. And yeah, I wrote most of them during kind of different intense swells of, I would call it, climate grief moments. Um so during like some major fires in California, the Santa Rosa fire and the Paradise fire, because I was living so near those places, impacted by the smoke and the effect of those tragedies. So I wrote Circle of Signs, the song from the EP, during those two fires. So over a couple of years. And yeah, it feels just more collective and global, the material, than like more personal life experiences, though it is my kind of personal expression of really what it feels like to be a human during these like really shifting times for our culture and species and planet. So yeah, they're like kind of heavy songs, but it's kind of heavy times we're facing. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah. I mean, and in all of this, there's also so much beauty that obviously can come out of like hard moments, like such as the pandemic, like really beautiful coming together and people being kind of rattled to the core of what is really important to them,
Mhm.
being human beings and kind of shaking off some of the like more superficial stuff and coming back to like our deeper parts of ourselves. So don't want to make it sound like it's just like all dark, it's like
Yes.
both sides, but there are some like seriously gnarly things we're facing right now. And I'm a really deep empath person. So
Mhm.
I feel that stuff so much. And so the place that it makes its way out is into the music.
Yeah, absolutely. And music's always kind of been there, right? Since the beginning in various forms, and people have used that to express, different emotions, even, as a way to communicate through
Mhm,
difficult times.
mhm, absolutely.
How did you become a musician?
Um, Yeah, it very much is a path that like chose me. I always say that. It's like I had never intended to be a songwriter. I never tried, never thought, being on the stage. I'm like still pretty shy. I've gotten a little better at my like performance anxiety, but yeah, did not like being on stage, not one of those people. And I over a series of little events that kind of led me to learning. I taught myself guitar at 18 after high school. And then I took my guitar on a trip down to Patagonia, Argentina. And while I was volunteering for a school for Mapuche indigenous youth down there. And it was a very, very isolating and hard trip, though also really beautiful and growthful. And that is where I started really writing songs. I've always written a lot of poetry and kind of felt more like a writer, before I ever was a singer.
Mhm.
And I was always an artist growing up. I was a painter and a drawer and photography. And so I thought I was gonna be a photographer. That was what I wanted to go to school for. But yeah, I went on this trip and these song beans just started like flowing out of me. So I came back after 4 or 5 months with like this collection of like 10 songs and no idea about how to record music or performing them, nothing. But I played them for a couple friends and they were like, we need to record these songs. And so they basically like kind of lovingly forced me into recording music. And they like booked some shows for me and also lovingly forced me to perform them. And it kind of just took on its own life from there.
That's amazing. And sometimes, we as people, we need that support from other people, right? We just don't necessarily have the fortitude within us. Some people more than others, but it's just nice to have that little push, maybe encouragement.
Yeah, encouragement. I would have never chose to get on stage and play those songs. So I really owe it to like some of those friends for getting this whole thing started. And I after that I was invited on like a couple tours with this band Bright Black Morning Light that was a cool psych rock southern rock band back in the day. And yeah, I did like a nationwide tour with them. And yeah, it's just keeps going from there. It's always kind of like a surprising so many surprises along the way. Like that part never stops.
Yep, it keeps changing, it keeps evolving.
Hmm.
So you have a couple more dates on this upcoming tour. What are your plans for the future?
Oh man. Um, it was a lot of dates coming up. Yeah, Berkeley tonight, May 19th, and then Nevada City, May 21st, and then heading up to Olympia, Seattle, and Portland after that. And yeah, I've been self-releasing this music, and so it's really a lot of work these days to put out music yourself. There's just so many facets of like the online world, though it is easier to kind of put up your own music with these streaming things, but then there's also like so many different platforms and social media and blah 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 websites and stuff. I'm not the best at like that world technologically speaking. But I've been trying to manage it and figure it out so I can like put this music out myself because it's been really hard to find like label support and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to just like taking a break actually. as we know,
Yeah.
leading to sane. It's for like at least for like 4 or 5 months. I just like really need to unplug from the social media. It's like been really impacting my mental health. And yeah, I just need to like really unplug for a bit and not be thinking about like how to promote and just music. I'm sure I'll be like, playing my guitar and actively playing music, not like talking about it
Yeah.
online.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad that you were able to share that information. I think it's kind of a newish topic of discussion now, but definitely hearing about it more. Do you feel like social media has been affecting you more negatively the more that you engage with it, and then uh, scheduling time to not be on it is more beneficial for you?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean, and it's as we know now, like it's like designed to try and keep you on it too. So even when you think you're just getting on there, like, oh, I'm just gonna go post my music thing, it's designed to keep you on it longer. So then, you look by an hour goes by and you're like, oh my God, I went on to do one thing. I think
Hmm.
we all, probably have experienced that happening. So
Yep.
yes, it's actually really scary, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
how much these things are affecting our brains and changing our brains. And so,
Yeah. Our way of talking about things, the way we interact with people, how we perceive ourselves. So I'm kind of with you on that, where I just try and spend as little time as possible. But like you said, sometimes it's easier to say that you're not going to do it versus the reality of it, which is it's a part of our everyday lives. And I'm
mm,
actually a content creator, writer of sorts. So it's pretty much like that's the only way I can get business is by being
yeah,
on these sites.
yeah. If I didn't run my own music platform and like really kind of self run a little music business off some of the social media, I would not be on that. I wouldn't be on it.
Yeah, yeah, would be nice, right?
That'd be nice.
And where can people find out more about you online besides social media?
Yeah, I do have a website now. It took me a long time to make my own website, but www.marieesiou.com, MarieeSiou.com. That has links to like my Bandcamp and my different albums. Also my Bandcamp page. If you just search my name on Bandcamp, that's a really great way to support artists because they give 90% of proceeds go to the artist. So it's really one of the best percentage deals of any of the music things out there. And then all the streaming places it's found, and Instagram, same name, at Mariee Siou. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I guess my last question for you is what's your advice to musicians who are just starting out right now?
Mm. Whoa. Yeah. It's like a different music world than when I started. Like it's just changed so much in the past 15 years. There wasn't even streaming when I started playing music. Um, I would say, let me just think about that for a second. Yeah, really stick to what feels right to you. Um, that's like one of the most important things. You feel like you're either working with people that you're in alignment with fully or doing it yourself if it means not working with people that you aren't in alignment with. And it really takes a lot of hard work and dedication to be a musician these days. There's sometimes not much money in it, and you have to really do it because you love doing it. Because it can be kind of brutal out there a little bit. It's very competitive. There's more bands and music than ever, I feel like, so many people are able to put up their music online from home, and yeah, it's just a wild world. So do it because you love it and stay true to what's in your heart and your authenticity.
Fantastic. Well, Mariee,
Mhm.
so it's fantastic to meet you. And people can find out more about you online.
Yeah.
And Wishing you the best with the rest of the tour and your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a great day. Okay.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Goodbye.